Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching Samaa News. Here are today's headlines. The United States and Iran have traded air attacks for a second straight day. The US military said its latest attacks targeted military surveillance capabilities, communication systems, and air defense sites across Iran, in response to what it called Tehran's unwarranted and continued aggression. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps said it had launched counterattacks on 18 US military targets at airbases in Kuwait and Bahrain, as well as the US Navy's 5th Fleet in Bahrain. It later said it had also targeted the al-Azraq airbase in Jordan for a second night running. Meanwhile, Iran has announced the complete closure of the Strait of Hormuz, warning that any vessel attempting to pass through the strategic waterway will be targeted. Iran's top joint military command, Khatam al-Anbiya Central Headquarters, announced in a statement broadcast by Iranian state television that the headquarters said the decision was taken due to growing insecurity in the region and what it described as continued American aggression. The statement said the strait is declared closed to the passage of all vessels, including oil tankers and commercial ships.
US President Donald Trump says Iran has taken too long to reach a deal with Washington and will now have to pay the price amid ongoing tensions and reported diplomatic efforts. In a Truth Social post, Trump called Iran's military a complete and total mess and said the country is all talk and no action, adding that the bully of the Middle East is dead. His remarks came as reports indicated Qatari negotiators traveled to Tehran to continue efforts toward a possible agreement following consultations with the United States. White House officials did not immediately comment on the post or the reported diplomatic outreach. President Masoud Pezeshkian has said that Iran must move beyond the current state of neither war nor peace, while insisting that the country will not surrender to pressure or ceasefire violations. Speaking in Tehran, Pezeshkian said, "War is not in Iran's interest," but warned that any threat to the country's dignity, territory, or sovereignty would be met with resistance. In a later tweet, Pezeshkian said, "Tehran will stand firm against any pressure or threats," following renewed warnings from President Trump. He dismissed threats against Iran's infrastructure, including its transportation, electricity, and water networks, describing them as a sign of desperation rather than strength. On the other hand, the United States has imposed a new round of sanctions targeting individuals and companies allegedly linked to Iran's military procurement networks. The U.S. Treasury Department announced measures against 6 individuals and 4 entities, including firms based in China and Hong Kong. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said the sanctions are aimed at disrupting efforts to acquire weapons and military-related equipment, adding that Washington will continue to target networks supporting Iran's armed forces. The Board of Governors of the International Atomic Energy Agency has approved a US-backed resolution requiring Iran to declare its remaining enriched uranium stockpiles and grant inspectors access to verify them. The measure passed with 21 votes in favor, 3 against, and 10 abstentions. The resolution comes amid growing concerns over the fate of uranium believed to have survived attacks on Iranian nuclear facilities and could further complicate ongoing negotiations between Washington and Tehran over Iran's nuclear program. Meanwhile, Iran has strongly condemned the resolution passed by the International Atomic Energy Agency and vowed to defend what it called its inalienable rights to pursue peaceful nuclear activities. In a statement issued by Iran's permanent mission in Vienna, Tehran accused the IAEA of politicization and questioned the agency's credibility, arguing that it had failed to adequately respond to attacks on Iranian nuclear facilities. The statement also criticized the United States for pursuing what it described as hostile actions while simultaneously calling for diplomacy, insisting that any diplomatic solution requires good faith from all sides.
Bill Gates has told members of Congress that he did not fully understand the extent of Jeffrey Epstein's crimes when he associated with the late convicted sex offender to raise money for his philanthropic foundation. Gates also testified that he never witnessed any criminal conduct from Epstein. He accused Epstein of blackmailing him over his extramarital affairs. The billionaire's testimony concerned his contacts with the convicted sex offender, who ensnared women and and girls from poor or unstable backgrounds. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching Samaa News.